So the market has some redness if you look at that, but in reality, in the past 2-3 days, the market is actually up about 10-15% on the total market cap. Some tokens has been flying like absolutely crazy, but I still believe you should not trust this crypto bounce, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly why. Now, first of all, posted this in October. I said every pump in the next 30 to 90 days is there to liquidate you. If you've been watching the shows, you know this, because I've been saying this since October, and this did not change. Yes, we're getting closer to January 21st, but we still have to see how this bounce actually performs. And I understand that there is big whatever, everybody's bullish, the ETFs are, inflow again, 800 plus million, super cool, but still, you just have to look at the chart and read the chart. This is what I'm going to talk about, all the trades I'm taking, all the tokens I'm looking at, and why you should not trust this crypto bounce, in my opinion. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗏𝗏, and I bring these 10-minute updates every single day. It's a 100x club because I'm 100xing my wealth in the next 10 years. You might be thinking it's absolutely crazy, but that's just 5% profit a month, and that's what we achieve here. Whether it's commodities, whether it's crypto, whatever that might be, subscribe to the channel and come back for another 5 to 10-minute update every day. Let's jump in here. So number one, very important. Down here, we've been longing. And I said, there was a higher high, there was a retrace, there was another higher high. We've been riding it all along. And as you see, I have been in the past leg up. So this someone actually commented on my Twitter, is like, oh, you're getting out on every 2% move. Yes, bitch, I am. Why? Because I don't trust this. And I'd rather make $3,000 in 3 hours than make $5,000 possibly, or just get completely rugged. So I do believe that this is not the time to hold trades for a long time and marry your trades. Why? Super simple. I cleaned my charts yesterday, so you see a bit of a cleaner chart here. But if you see this, the only time, let me take you back a little bit. So if you have been here, you've been shorting from here with us all the way down here somewhere, and then we started getting out of the shorts. But here was a market structure high, and then a market structure low, breaking the actual structure, and then a retrace to 50%, and then a continuation lower. That means that this level up here is the actual last high on the daily chart. That means that I've been expecting a pullback to that level, which, sorry, actually is this one, because that was a 50% pullback. So either this or this leg, both of them are actually good. This is the weekly up there, this is the daily down here, and the daily 50% have been completed, but the weekly has not been completed, which is up here at 3.31. So all I'm saying is that we are getting back, markets always retrace 50%, and we're getting back to the weekly level on here. Look at this. This is the weekly order block up here, and we're just targeting the next level, which is the weekly order block. We've completed the daily, came back 50, and now we're going for the weekly. What does that mean? That means that if this was happening like this, right? If it was happening in a very impulsive manner, I would have been, okay, cool, this could actually be the bottom. But if you look at these, bottoms are not made like this. Rarely. If you look at here, yes, you could consider this to be the bottom, but even if you just waited for the daily high break and got in there, you would have missed nothing, because that was another 50% move from there with a confirmation. Whereas if you have gotten in here because you thought, holy shit, now it's a reversal, you would have gotten a drawdown of another 35%. It's very important to wait for confirmation when you start taking longer term goals. But this is how bottoms usually are made. A V-shaped recovery, a very clear 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 V-shaped recovery. And you always have time to get in. V-shape, always have time to get in. Always. You always have time. So anyway, that said, I do not believe that this is the bottom. And even if it is, I do believe that we can have a potential retrace and then another great entry. That said, I do believe it's stupid not to play along and not to long these, especially if you have like a BitFunded account where you don't really want to keep your funds, on a long trades, because it just doesn't make sense. You can get liquidated easily. So that said, here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at if you look at the 4-hour chart, this is a perfect 4-hour market structure. You have a low here, you have a high here, you have a low here, you have a high here. So this by the way, here came back 50% on this leg. So this completed, new high. This is our new low down here at 3.02 trillion. That means that I am waiting for a 50% retrace and a continuation. That's just what I'm looking at. If I go down to the hourly chart, I can see that this might not happen. Now we can see a beautiful hourly order block up here, so you can just see a bounce from here. It can happen a flush. I'm gonna go down into the 15-minute chart as well in a second. This can happen today, and then we can see a reversal at any point, possibly even come up here to the 3.31, which is my next target ultimately, and then a flush from there. So if I'm looking at this on the hourly chart, it is bullish. On the 4-hour chart, it is bullish. All I really need is a retrace to the 50% on the 4-hour, a market structure shift, and another lag to catch on this. Another possibility is that it starts pushing, and then I'm just gonna wait for a 4-hour market structure shift to the upside and then short from there. These are the two main scenarios I'm looking at. If I want to look at market, you know, the market, I have a Telegram community. It's completely free, and I'm going to update you every single time when something is happening. Are you calling someone, cuz? So I actually don't know what that was, but I do have a community. It's completely free. There's a link in the description. You can join in and read all my thoughts. So there's something that's going to happen, all the trades and whatever I'm going to take, I'm going to share it with you there. But ultimately, it can happen that we see this on London, and then we see a recovery here and a push. Or it can happen that we just break below and then come all the way to the 50, wait for a market structure shift and push higher. Ultimately, very important. If you've been following the channel, one of the biggest things you can do is waiting. There is no trade today. There is no confirmation on the lower time frame on this 1-hour reversal, so I'm not trading that. There is no confirmation that this 1 hour is going to hold, so I'm not trading that either. If there is a fall here and the 5-minute market structure shift, I am going to take a trade. Or if this starts pushing, I'm not gonna feel sorry because there is one more leg up somewhere here, and I do believe that that is the final one. This is what everybody will trust, and I don't think they should. This is what I'm actually looking at. There are some tokens that are worth looking. So if you look at relative performance, sector performance on the past 4 hours, it's layer 2s, Arbitrum, Optimism, Paul, Starkness, zkSync. So all these tokens are worth looking at. Again, when this happens, when there is something happening, I am going to post it in the Telegram. It's free, link on the top of the description. So join in there, you will see. But also I wanted to say there are some tokens that I think it's worth accumulating now. One of them is Home. The reason I told you I invested, this is beautiful V-shape as well. Look at this. We missed it, but this would have been an amazing 30% trade here. So Home is one of the things. I am in connection with the team. I have actually invested, and I still have some tokens. They have an iOS app coming out, which I think can be a decent catalyst for this as well. I set up a bot on it because I do believe that this can be great. There's going to be a link in the description to this bot directly if you want to ride this. I do see another, maybe a possible 30 to 50% pump here that I do believe is possible, especially when their iOS app comes out. This is basically like an everything app, just like Phantom, but everything app, so a grandma can do it as well. Anyway, you can go and check it out, and there is a link in the description. If you want to take all the bots, the other bots that I've taken for 2026, you will be able to see it as well in the description. And guys, I wanted to tell you one more thing. I am running my BitFunded account. As you know, I'm up about $900 profit. I did take some stop losses yesterday, but this is my live account already, and I'm up $900. If you want to get funded as a trader, and if you want to have 100, I started with this account for basically $1,300 for this account, and then I have a $150,000 account because I passed the challenge. So if you want to do that, there's a link in the description. Guys, appreciate every single one of you. Check out this. This is going to be golden commodities from yesterday. We're going to start doing these shows today as well. So come back in the afternoon because there's a bunch of stuff to trade when it comes to gold, silver, commodities, and all that. But check this video out and let us know what you think. I'll see you tomorrow in the next one and in the community. Take care.